Here's a number that sounds fake but isn't. The Bellagio in Las Vegas makes over $1 million a day. Not a year. A day. And here's the part that really messes with your head. Most of that money isn't coming from people losing at blackjack. It's not even coming from the slot machines, really. A huge chunk of it comes from something far simpler. Math. Cold, boring, unbeatable math. So today, I'm Paul pulling back the curtain on one of the strangest businesses on earth, owning a casino. What it actually costs to build one, how it actually makes money, why so many of them still go bankrupt, and whether this glamorous neon-lit business is actually a smart place to put your money. Because the truth is stranger than you think. Owning a casino is less like running a gambling den, and more like running a very expensive, very risky factory that happens to sell luck. Let's get into it. Before we talk about costs, you need to understand one idea. Once you get this, the entire business model clicks into place. It's called the house edge. Here's the simple version. Every single game in a casino is designed so that, over time, the casino wins slightly more often than it loses. Not a lot more, just slightly. Take roulette. You bet on red. There are 18 red numbers, 18 black numbers, and, this is the trick, 1 or 2 green numbers, 0 and 00. Those green numbers don't belong to you or the casino's fair odds. They're the casino's cut, baked right into the wheel. So, out of 38 possible outcomes, only 18 pay you. That means the casino wins about 5.26 cents of every dollar bet, on average, forever. Now, here's why this matters so much. You might get lucky one night and walk out with $10,000. Some guy at the next table might lose his shirt. Individually, gambling is completely unpredictable. But a casino isn't playing one hand of roulette. It's running that wheel spinning thousands of times a day, every day, for years. And when you do anything thousands of times, luck disappears and math takes over. Think of it like flipping a weighted coin. If I flip it once, anything can happen. But if I flip it 1,000,000 times, I can tell you almost exactly how many times it'll land on each side. That's what a casino floor is. A room full of weighted coins, flipping constantly, all slightly rigged in the house's favor. This is why casino owners genuinely don't care if you win big tonight. In fact, they kind of want you to. A big win keeps you playing longer, brings you back next week, and makes for a great story you tell your friends, which is free advertising. The house isn't scared of your win. It's just patient. It knows the math always comes home eventually. Okay, so if the math is guaranteed, owning a casino should be a license to print money, right? Not even close. And that's where things get interesting. Here's what nobody tells you about casinos. The gambling part is almost the easy part. The hard part is everything you have to pay for before a single card gets dealt. Cost number 1, the license. You can't just decide to open a casino. Governments treat casino licenses like gold, partly because they don't want too many casinos competing, and partly because they want a serious cut of the profits. In some U.S. states, a gambling license alone can cost anywhere from a few $1,000,000 to over $50 million, depending on the state and the size of the operation. In places like Macau or Singapore, licenses have gone for over $1 billion. That's before you've built a single slot machine. Cost number 2, the building. A serious casino resort isn't just a big room with tables. It's basically a small city. Hotel towers, restaurants, theaters, parking structures, pools, shopping. The Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas cost around $4 billion to build. The Wynn Palace in Macau cost over $4 billion as well. Even a modest regional casino, nowhere near that scale, can easily run into the hundreds of millions. Why is it so expensive? Because casinos are built to keep you inside. No windows near the gaming floor, no clocks, layouts specifically designed to be a little confusing so you wander past just one more slot machine on your way to the bathroom. That kind of psychological engineering isn't cheap to design or build. Cost number 3, the machines and tables themselves. A single high-end slot machine can cost $15,000 to $25,000. Now multiply that by 2,000 machines on a casino floor, and you're already at $30 to $50 million, just for slots. Add in poker tables, blackjack tables, roulette wheels, and the specialized chip and card systems that prevent cheating, and that number climbs even higher. Cost number 4. Security. This one surprises people. Casinos spend enormous amounts on security, not just guards at the door, but entire rooms full of surveillance staff watching thousands of camera feeds in real time, systems that can track chip movement, and teams trained specifically to spot card counters and cheats. Why so intense? Because in a cash business this large, even a small percentage of theft or fraud translates into millions of dollars lost every year. Cost number 5. Staff. A major casino resort can employ anywhere from 5,000 to 12,000 people. Dealers, pit bosses, waitstaff, hotel staff, chefs, entertainers, cleaners, accountants. Payroll alone for a large casino can run into hundreds of millions of dollars a year. So before you've made a single dollar from gambling, you might already be $1 billion in the hole. This is why almost nobody opens a casino with their own money. They borrow. Heavily. And that debt becomes its own character in this story. Here's something that might surprise you. In many modern casino resorts, gambling isn't even the biggest source of revenue anymore. Take Las Vegas. Decades ago, gambling made up the overwhelming majority of casino income. Today, in a lot of the biggest resorts, over half the revenue comes from non-gambling sources: hotel rooms, restaurants, nightclubs, concerts, shopping, and convention business. Why the shift? A few reasons. First, gambling revenue, while steady, is actually a slower-growing business than entertainment and hospitality. Second, other places around the world, Macau, Singapore, online betting, started competing hard for pure gambling dollars. So Vegas reinvented itself as an entertainment destination first, casino second. Here's a simple way to think about it. The casino floor is the hook. It's what gets you to book the trip. But once you're there, they want you spending money everywhere. The steakhouse, the pool cabana, the Cirque du Soleil ticket, the $200 bottle service at the club. Gambling gets you in the door. Everything else keeps your wallet open. And then there's a group that changes the entire financial picture of a casino. Whales. A whale is a high-stakes gambler who might bet tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars in a single sitting. Casinos treat these players like royalty. Free private jets, free penthouse suites, personal butlers, because a single whale can generate more profit in one weekend than an entire floor of regular slot players generates in a month. The flip side? Whales are volatile. A casino can have a fantastic quarter, and then one whale gets extraordinarily lucky and wins millions in a single night, wiping out weeks of profit in an evening. This is actually a real risk that publicly traded casino companies mention to their investors. A run of bad luck against a handful of huge players can swing quarterly earnings dramatically, even though the long-term math always favors the house. This is the part that makes casino ownership genuinely fascinating. It's a business built on a guaranteed mathematical edge, and yet it can still have wildly unpredictable, even bad, short-term results. It's one of the only industries where being right about the math doesn't protect you from a rough few months. The hidden costs that keep running forever. Building the casino is cost number 1, but owning it means paying every single day, forever. Comps and freebies. You've probably heard of comps: free drinks, free rooms, free meals for regular gamblers. This isn't generosity. It's a calculated cost of doing business. Casinos know exactly how much they expect to earn from a given player over time, and they'll happily give away a percentage of that as free perks to keep the player coming back and playing longer. It's essentially a marketing budget disguised as hospitality. Taxes. Gambling is one of the most heavily taxed industries in the world. In Las Vegas, casinos pay a percentage of gaming revenue in state taxes. In Macau, the tax rate on gaming revenue is around 40%. In some countries, it's even higher. This is one of the biggest, most predictable costs a casino owner has to plan around, and it eats a serious chunk of what would otherwise be pure profit. Regulation and compliance. Casinos are among the most tightly regulated businesses on the planet, largely because of their history with money laundering and organized crime. Today, casinos have to run extensive compliance departments just to track large cash transactions, verify where money is coming from, and report suspicious activity to regulators. Get this wrong, and you're not just facing a fine. You can lose your license entirely, which means losing the entire business overnight. Maintenance. A casino floor never sleeps, which means the building never stops wearing down. Carpets, lighting, air conditioning that has to run 24 hours a day for tens of thousands of square feet. Slot machines that need constant servicing. None of this shows up in the exciting headlines, but it's a massive ongoing line item. Put all of this together, and you start to see why casino companies operate on razor-thin margins compared to what people assume. The house edge might be guaranteed. The profit margin absolutely is not. So with all that said, why does anyone still want to own one? A few real advantages. 1. A mathematically guaranteed edge. Few businesses can say, with statistical certainty, that over a long enough timeline, they will win more than they lose. That's an extraordinary foundation to build a business on, even with all the extra costs layered on top. 2. Multiple revenue streams. A modern casino resort isn't one business, it's 10 businesses under one roof: hotel, restaurants, entertainment, retail, gambling. If one slows down, the others can carry it. 3. Incredible brand loyalty and repeat customers. Regular gamblers, especially loyalty program members, generate predictable recurring revenue, almost like a subscription business, except the customer keeps paying to play, not just to access. 4. It's genuinely difficult for new competitors to enter. Because licenses are so expensive and limited, existing casino owners are somewhat protected from a flood of new competition. That scarcity itself has value, because for every glamorous Vegas success story, there's a graveyard of casinos that went bankrupt. 1. Massive upfront debt. Almost every casino is built using borrowed money. If revenue doesn't hit projections or interest rates rise, that debt can crush a business that looks profitable on paper. 2. Extreme sensitivity to the economy. Gambling and travel are two of the very first things people cut back on when money gets tight. A recession can hit casino revenue far harder and far faster than more essential industries. 3. Whale risk. As we talked about, a single unlucky night against a high roller can wipe out enormous profits in hours. 4. Reputational risk. One major cheating scandal, one bad headline about money laundering, one incident with a regulator and a casino can lose its license or its customers almost overnight. Trust is the entire product, and trust is fragile. 5. Oversaturation. In places like Macau or certain US states, so many casinos have opened that they're now competing fiercely for the same pool of gamblers, driving down margins for everyone. This is why, historically, a huge number of casino projects, even famous ones, have gone bankrupt or been sold off at a loss. It's a business that looks like a money-printing machine from the outside, but is actually a high-stakes balancing act between guaranteed math and very real financial risk. So here's where that leaves us. A casino is one of the only businesses on earth built on a literal mathematical guarantee, and yet it's still one of the riskiest, most expensive, most heavily regulated industries you can enter. The house edge is real. The billion-dollar debt is also real. The whale who might win $5 million on a single hand of baccarat is also real. It's a business that rewards patience more than almost any other. You can't win every night. You just have to make sure that over 10,000 nights, the math wins for you. And maybe that's the real lesson hiding inside all this neon and noise. Whether you're running a casino or building your own savings and investments, the biggest advantage isn't luck. It's time, consistency, and letting the odds, even small ones, work in your favor for long enough.